We are going to talk about methodological approaches to teaching English through literature. A work of literature can be approached in a number of different ways. An understanding of these approaches is crucial for teachers to determine the best way to use the resources provided by literary text with the purpose of improving languages learning programs. So, in continuation, we'll have a look at the major classifications of methodological approaches that allow incorporating literature in the EFL classroom. Wallach and Warren's approach, that distinguishes between intrinsic and extrinsic approaches, Malley's classification, Carter and Long classification, and Van's classification. Let's start with Wallach and Warren's classification. This classification distinguishes between intrinsic and extrinsic approaches to literature. The first focuses specifically on the text, while the second seeks to go deeper into the social, political, or historical events which constitute the framework of the text. Malley distinguishes between the critical literary approach and the stylistic approach. The first one merely focuses on the literariness of the text. Meanwhile, the second one is focused on the analysis of the literary language. The author himself opts for a meta-approach that posits no dichotomy between language and literature. Carter and Long defend three main models for literature teaching: the cultural model, the language model, and the personal growth model. The cultural approach considers literature as an ideal vehicle to transmit cultural notions such as history, literary theories, genres, biography of the different authors, and so on. The language approach considers literature to be aimed at language development and awareness. Meanwhile, the personal growth approach gives priority to personal experience as a means to engage students in the reading process. Van's classification goes more in consonance with approaches to the analysis of literary fiction itself. The six approaches described by the author include new criticism, structuralism, stylistic approach, reader response approach, the language-based approach, the critical literacy approach. The first two have fallen in disuse because of their interest in the study of the formal elements of the text. Meanwhile, the stylistic, reader response, language-based, and critical literacy approaches are considered to be as valid for the EFL context nowadays. Most scholars indicate that none of the approaches to literature teaching in the EFL classroom of the ones mentioned above is complete enough to be implemented independently. Generally speaking, the last few decades reveal a clear shift from the solely linguistic analysis to a deeper concern with fostering intercultural awareness, appreciating learners' interpretations and responses to text, and developing the ability to see with different eyes. More specifically, the last decade has seen several attempts to develop an integrative model towards literature teaching that would include the linguistic, cultural, and personal elements. Thank you very much, and goodbye.